prepared yet.
You need to try and pick off the units as... Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take him!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Xelnaga Karens. I bring you IdrA from Team Evil Geniuses. He's in the green trunks and he is playing Zerg to the southwest versus his opponent, the one and only mOoNan, or mOoNan, whichever you prefer, from Team FXO. He is in the red trunks and he is playing Terran.
And mOoNan has been training with Chef, obviously, a very, very good player. But IdrA's ZVT has been his strongest matchup for a long time. ZVZ caught up a little bit recently, but he's had the same style since the early stages of the beta when he switched to Zerg with this moodless Ling bailing style, and he's so good at doing it. A lot of players now are switching over to Ling, Infesta, Roach style, but IdrA loves the fact that he can harass over and over and over again with Mutalisk, and as soon as you come up to a critical amount, 1620, and a Terran player pushes out, turrets do not bother you.
No, they do not, unfortunately. Even high-sec auto-tracking will not help you, which has got the best upgrade in the game.
I know. I actually use that.
Yeah,
I actually use that against Zerg. I think it's a great upgrade because you actually get in two, three more shots than you would, and so it makes turrets a lot stronger than they should be.
It's kind of nice. It actually works on auto turrets as well if you want to go mass Raven.
Really?
Yep, it does. It gives you a little bit extra range. Now, mOoNan with the barracks coming down right here on 11, a little earlier for him, but that's because it's a 2 rags. There you go.
Indeed, he cut SCVs to get 211 barracks down now, and we're going to see a lot of early aggression straight off the bat. Will IdrA be able to defend against it, though? He has gone for an extractor spawning port opening simply because it's a 2-player map. It's very short rush distances between bases, so he's going to have that speed link up a lot faster, and should be able to defend against anything. The hatchery is going to be pushed back, until around 20 or so. So he should be able to defend against this.
Yeah, I think so. IdrA is well practiced against the 2 barracks aggressive marine opening, so I don't think he's probably too stressed about that, if I'm totally honest. He doesn't have any scouts going out, really. He doesn't need to go in that early, but he'll be able to spot the 2 barracks as it comes up. A single marine will be able to go out, maybe deny the scout, but with the speed that this drone is moving across the map, it seems less than likely.
Yeah, IdrA will pull off gas pretty shortly as soon as he has enough for the speed upgrade.
Oh, mOoNan, what you doing? He ran straight past the drone.
Oh no, but IdrA's going to get ahead and scout 2 racks. He knows what's up. Going to add on a couple more Lings most likely. He's at 4 at the moment, and there's the 6th. Well, 6 Lings in total being added. And won't even try to expand for now. He's just going to build 10 Lings or so and pull a few drones to help defend against the bunker rush. Yep,
well, there's the reason why that Marine continued moving. Unfortunately, there's not enough firepower right there. That was just easy. I mean, he wasn't even looking at that.
Didn't even pull drones. Doesn't need to. And IdrA's got 8 Lings in total. He'll probably stop now and try to get that hatchery up. But mOoNan's still waypointing a lot of Marines down.
Oh yeah, he's starting to get a good critical mass. He's actually thrown a lot of SCVs into this attack as well. You look at it, he's already lost 1, and he's just thrown in another 4. So this is, I wouldn't say, it's certainly not all in, but it's definitely a do or die, really. If he loses this one, he's going to be well behind.
Yeah, and IdrA once again stops the bunker placement. Is going to try and get a surround in here.
He looks for it, certainly. Good micromanagement right here by mOoNan, who is doing the 2-step shuffle right now. It's a good dance, as you can very clearly see. He keeps those Marines alive very, very well, I have to say. Reinforcements coming in, and IdrA's actually getting pushed back right now. However, he was able to come in around the side and deal with that SCV, so no bunker for you.
Indeed, but a lot of Lings are coming out now, and it looks like IdrA will hold. All the SCVs are down, and the 2-step shuffle beats the moonwalk from the Zerg because it looks like all these Lings are going to clean up these Marines.
Yep, here comes the surround, and I'm sorry, mOoNan, but you ain't getting out with that one alive. That I can guarantee. Looking to try and cancel that bunker at some point. Right now, there you go. And that puts mOoNan behind.
Indeed it does, and we look at the unit tab now. Even though IdrA's only at 13 drones versus 14 SCVs, the hatchery's up now, and mOoNan has to go ahead and try to get this expo up as soon as possible. And, will he add on these refineries soon, or will he add on 2 more barracks or so? No, he's just going to go for the 2 refineries from here and start his tank production. And but IdrA has a long timing window now, 2-3 minutes worth of just pure drones.
And that's what he loves. He absolutely adores drones. I'm very surprised that nobody's given him a plushie drone right now. Or perhaps, 50 plushie drones.
Maybe when IdrA wins a huge title, he can have a drone trophy.
Forever a drone.
Forever a drone, IdrA.
Yes, indeed.
Signed IdrA.
IdrA loves droning. He really, really does. He's actually been criticized in the past for over-droning, in fact. He tries to sneak in drones whenever he believes he can, and sometimes it's not the right time.
Indeed, but that's also the trademark of a pro player, to squeeze in these drones at these critical times. But like you said, it can backfire. But in this game, he's no need to worry about that backfire, because he can even go ahead and take a third base super fast. And third base locations, usually you'll see IdrA take the left-hand side location, simply because it's easy to defend against drops. There's no rocks you have to kill, so you can expo a little bit faster. But IdrA adding on 6 links here, surprisingly. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, that is aggressive. That's because he's going Banelings, as you can see right now. He's going to try and bust the front, which is a possibility. mOoNan does not have any bunkers at the back, and this supply depot is, of course, a vulnerable spot. Could be easily bust through. We'll see what kind of damage you can do with this early aggression.
Yeah, exactly. IdrA's just waiting for Moment to pick up the command center, move down. He'll then back off, morph a lot of Banelings, and then continue from here. The thing is Moment, though, going for tanks or Hellions? He has 2 factories at the moment. It can still go either way. Tanks are definitely going to be better in this scenario. We'll have to see which upgrade he decides to build.
Well, if I'm honest, I don't think mOoNan's got the gas to support it on one base, honestly, and he can't move out yet, so I have a feeling it's going to be Hellions, but we'll see as to whether or not that is actually the case very, very shortly. Research starts an Infernal Pre-Igniter, so there's your answer.
Indeed, Hellions it is. And Blue Flame, obviously good against Lings or Banelings, especially without speed, so to see how this goes for IdrA. Still droning, though, a lot, and it realizes that he's most likely facing a siege tank push out, therefore he's not even going to try to bust this anymore.
Nah.
And IdrA's just going to fall back and try to get an expo, even getting a spine crawl, because his opponent still hasn't yet to expand. And IdrA, if you look at his vision, he has no idea about what is going on inside this base at all, the reason for that spine crawler.
Yep. He's not sure. That Overlord's in the corner, but it's very easily denied by that one Marine, so it's nothing he really needs to concern himself with too much. He does have full map control for the time being, until the Hellions come out in great enough numbers at any rate. There's no sign of Hellion drops right now. We're not seeing a star pod coming out. And mOoNan doing what actually a lot of Korean Terrans are doing right now, which is to delay the deployment of this orbital command and use it for macro to try and saturate your mineral field in your main base. And obviously, he really didn't have too much of a choice. He wasn't able to secure this base until he was able to get these bunkers down, and now finally believes he's safe to do so. But I would definitely be worried about what IdrA's got coming up in the box. What's in the box? It's going to actually be useless by the looks of it.
And now Moment's pushing out with a lot of Blue Flame Hellions and Marines. This could catch IdrA off by surprise. A lot of Lings are being morphed. It's all going to come down to the micro of these Hellions. Will they be able to pick off more than they're worth? And we'll have to see now as he comes down. A lot of Banelings have been morphed, though, as well. Spine Crawls added. Will it be enough?
Yep, he's being driven away by that single Baneling. Nice little bit of play there by IdrA. It's all about the delaying tactics, folks. He wants to try and hold on until he can get more Banelings in the field. And the Marines look like they're going to get surrounded right here. mOoNan needs to move away immediately. It's a reasonable split, but oh dear, that was not pleasant.
Once again, Moment shut down, and fighting on creep is the worst thing you can ever do. Even though you have Hellions and Marines, you can just get such an easy surround with Speedlings on creep. And now he's actually got to fall back again and try to do something else. Can't really do too much damage. He's got to be careful. We'll try to pick off some creep tumors here.
Oh my, oh my! Ouchie, ouchie time is what that is called in the scientific community. mOoNan taking a massive amount of damage, and a good surround right there by IdrA. Loses an awful lot of units there, mOoNan did in fact. 2 very, very damaged Hellions in that group as well. So he tries to clear out some of the creep, which is certainly going to help him, but I'm more concerned about that Mutalisk production. It's looking very unpleasant.
And we don't have, well, the engineering bay just now finished. We don't have any turrets yet, so they could potentially do a lot of damage. IdrA forced to build a 3rd queen because of the amount of creep tumors that have been kicked off the map, and he can finally get this 3rd base up. You can never really get a 3rd base up against Terran anymore before you go Spire, simply because drop harassment and timing attacks completely shut that out, especially on this map. Because of the way it's set up with the cliff and so on above that 3rd base. But in come these dangerous, dangerous bats.
Bats! Six bats!
Or prawns with wings.
Yes, I'm Count Dracula. Let's do some damage. That's what he's looking for right now. Eliminating that missile turret very, very easily into the mineral line. Ouch! That is expensive.
A lot of SCVs going down here. He's going to get the turret up and repair it, but did lose a lot of SCVs there. IdrA's going to swing around to the natural. Turret is up, but still SCVs to be picked off.
Yeah, he's looking forward, and there are plenty of opportunities for wonderful harassment, and it's forcing mOoNan backwards, who inexplicably is moving away with those Hellions, I suppose because he's a little bit scared of getting them picked off by the Mutas, but he then rapidly realizing flamethrowers not so much used against bats. At least not in this particular scenario. We're going to call them bats for the rest of the match, aren't we? That's terrible terminology.
IdrA is the Batman.
He is. He is the goddamn Batman, and he picks off 2 Hellions in the process. Oh dear. They're hiding. He misses it. They're not getting away. It's not going to happen. There we go. He picks off one, and he takes off the second quite nicely. He demands full map control and respect, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to get it.
And now IdrA's going to take the both extractors on that 3rd base, gearing up to take a 4th base on the gold as well, just macroing the best he can, getting his economy up. We're 1-8 food now for IdrA versus a 78 supply capped mOoNan. Not good at all, even though he has got +1 just about to finish and can start +2 soon for his Marines. IdrA in once again the driving seat.
Yep, and that's exactly where he likes to be, and he should be able to do a good job of doing just that. He could pick up a free supply depot right here.
Indeed.
He loves supply depots. You know, he'll eat them whenever he gets the opportunity. There we go, there's freebie, and that's going to be a free refinery as well. That's not going to help, especially considering there's a likelihood of Thor production to deal with these mutas.
Yeah, and it's going to cut the siege tanks down, not directly, but indirectly. Simply just killing off the refinery is going to slow your gas intake, therefore the tanks are just going to... The count's going to be a lot lower now, and we do have +2 starting, +2 also for the Mutalist in production, +1 for the Lings as well, and the 4th base are almost up about 50% now for IdrA.
My oh my, things are looking absolutely fantastic for IdrA at the moment, as mOoNan is boxed into that base, playing highly defensively. Infestation Pit now started for IdrA as well. He is feeling it for the time being. Those Marines are not where they want to be. That's all I can very clearly say about that.
Bit of a donation.
Yep. Donation to the IdrA charity, the IdrA Foundation. I can't imagine what that's actually to benefit. I think the IdrA Foundation probably benefits IdrA and nobody else at this point. It's not nice. Well, that barracks is on fire right now, and we're looking at a Mutalist count of 20 and 4 more in production. IdrA, with this +2 upgrade, is going to be able to roll over pretty much anything at this point.
Yeah, and mOoNan needs to push out soon. He needs to take a 3rd base, otherwise he's just going to fall a victim to IdrA in this game. IdrA taking a 5th base now on the left-hand side, just completely steamrolling this game. And now mOoNan's going to try and move out, but as soon as he does, guess what? Mutalisks.
Yes, indeed, a swarm. They will blot out the sun. And then mOoNan will die in the shade, which is not ideal for him, I have to say. Even with that +1 upgrade, even with the stim, this is going to be unpleasant. He wants to take the gold. He actually needs to take the gold, so he really had no choice. I mean, he couldn't just keep mining out this natural right here and expect to stay ahead of the one and only IdrA, who is now swarming in as much as possible. Admittedly, it's going to be kind of difficult to attack with those 4 siege tanks, but it depends whether or not mOoNan can be drawn out of position.
Indeed, it looks like IdrA does not care, Total Biscuit.
No, he cares not for your flippantry and nonsense. There's the Baneling detonation of the clear on 1, 2, and 3 tanks. And it looks like IdrA is going to be driven away, taking a lot of damage. But honestly, he can afford that. Yeah,
I mean, it was a very sloppy attack by IdrA, but he, like you said, he can afford to do it. Now the siege tank is, we only have 2 now. It was like 5 before. The Marines are very damaged. There's no medivacs out. So good attack by IdrA. And now he's just going to remax out once again. 154 supply, building more Lings, more Banelings, and it's going to go for take 2.
That's a smorgasbord of Banelings, as we can see right there. That is quite the selection. Which one looks the most delicious? Does it really matter? Because it's going to charge into the line, and I actually don't really think that mOoNan can hold up against this. We'll see. A little bit of indecision, actually, there from IdrA, who decides not to go in with all of the Banelings just yet. He spends an awful lot in the process. It looks to try and do damage, but mOoNan holds it just. Unfortunately, there's a couple of Banelings left to go in there, but looks like he's not going to lose that mineral line. A good split.
Yeah, and IdrA 82 drones versus 50 SCVs now. And IdrA just pushing mOoNan down, 82 supply versus IdrA's 135 now. 40 Lings in production. He's got the 4th base up and running on the left-hand side. There's nothing IdrA can do now to almost lose this game. I don't know. He's just going to waypoint all these units down. We have the Greater Spire in production now. Infestors are out. The pathogen glands have been upgraded. IdrA just completely steamrolling, showing his strength, showing us why he was the IGN Season 1 champion.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about this. I mean, throwing this away would require a special kind of terrible. And at this point, I don't think IdrA's in any position to have that happen to him at all. And people have always said that the greatest enemy of IdrA has to be IdrA, but he's looking entirely cool and confident and displaying his trademark mechanics this entire game.
Unless he managed to pull a GG and quit out the game, there's no way for him to lose this. We have a Link counterattack now in the natural of moment, doing a lot of damage to the SCVs and the supply depots. And Muteless are coming around to harass the gold at the same time.
A smart move. He was able to pull away those Thors, which was the critical thing. And, of course, Thors will take ages to get over there. He tries to pick off the Planetary Fortress, which is, of course, very heavily armored, taking a lot of missile fire from the ground right there. But once again, if he's able to economically harass his opponent and prevent his opponent from building a critical mass, then he should be absolutely fine.
I guess IdrA's mother didn't teach him not to play with his food, Total Biscuit.
Well, apparently not. He is doing just that right now. He seems so calm and relaxed this entire game. He hasn't been making errors at all. Occasional, we say sloppy, but in reality for IdrA, it's simple mathematics. He knows he can batter his opponent into submission, so he's going to do just that.
He's probably listening to slow jazz, texting his girlfriend, probably watching YouTube on the second monitor right now.
Laid back.
Just
With his
laid
mind
back
on his minerals and his minerals on his mind.
He's got the window open, the breeze is coming in, flapping his hair up.
Yes, yeah, I can imagine. No, that's horrible. No, no! God damn it, Apollo, why do you do this to me?
He's got his shoes and socks kicked off. He's just chilling out.
Well, that's going to upset everybody. You can't do that in a pro situation. That's unacceptable. Broodlord's now moving in, which could be the death of mOoNan, to be quite honest. The Viking count is, well, none. So, what's he going to do against these Broodlords? Not a huge amount.
There's no ghosts, there's no Vikings, there's nothing he can do. There's a drop on the left-hand side.
No, there isn't.
Down. Yeah.
No, what drop? What are you talking about? No, I don't really think mOoNan has this somehow. That third base is going down very, very easily. Level 3 upgrade coming up right there as well. Even the Broodlings have a +2 melee upgrade. That two-part component attack, very benefited by the upgrade count. Thor's trying to help, but Thors don't do a huge amount of damage to Broodlords. There's the Swarm of Fungal Growth to finish it off, and honestly, mOoNan is getting absolutely annihilated.
There's nothing left. The gold base is going to go down surely. SCVs are repairing it, so it's staying alive just a little bit, but will eventually go down. And there's nothing here. 90 food now for mOoNan versus the monstrous 184 for IdrA now.
There goes the Planetary Fortress, and that might be the sign of a good game as far as I'm concerned. And IdrA will push forward and clean everything up. And mOoNan is really kind of desperate right now. He doesn't have a huge amount that he can do. The Mutalisks went into the line, did big damage to his economy, and he has nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's hanging on. He doesn't want to really go down to the loser bracket at all. And IdrA just completely controlling this. He's going to swarm in one last time with all these Lings, all these units, and there's pretty much nothing here. One final desperate stim, but that stim
what you gonna do
GG.
when he comes for you, folks? There we go, GG. That's 2-0 in this best of 3 series for IdrA. An excellent example of Zerg play right there.
Moves on to the next stage, and congratulations to IdrA in the early stages of this tournament. And we'll have to see who he plays next, but that game was so one-sided, Total Biscuit. I feel sorry for mOoNan. It wasn't even that game, sorry. What am I saying?
The entire series was really one-sided. I mean, IdrA had complete control the entire time. It's nice to be able to look and say, well, what could mOoNan have really done in order to come back from that? And the answer is, there were so many moments where IdrA just had complete control. It doesn't come down to just one thing. It's like the only way he could have beaten IdrA was to play vastly better than IdrA, which he didn't do. So it sounds simplistic, but what else are you going to say?
I don't know. I wonder if mOoNan's nerves got to him, because he's never played against IdrA before, and IdRA's such a dominant force that unless you win a game against him before this, but if you've never had a record against IdrA, then you're in trouble, I think. Because that kind of mentality is like, oh my god, it's IdrA, he was so long in Korea.
Terrifying.
But as soon as you take a game off him, you're like, oh, it's actually easy to beat IdrA. And then you continue from there.
Yeah,
and that's what's actually happening right now with a lot of players in the European scene, in the North American scene. When IdrA was in Korea in the GSL, nobody could touch him outside. But now he's back, now he's competing in all these international tournaments. Players are seeing that he's not indestructible.
Oh yeah, they're doing damage to him. In fact, I believe one of your teammates actually beat him in a tournament by the name of DreamHack. People may be aware of that.
Indeed.
Mirrors. Yeah, he did a very good job. He actually lost his first game in a very similar manner to this. He got completely outplayed. And then he just came back and demolished it.
And especially if you know IdrA's style, it's very easily exploitable. So we'll have to see how IdrA does progress in the rest of this tournament.
Indeed. Indeed. No doubt he'll do very, very well as IdrA attempts to do, and we will be back with more StarCraft action very shortly, folks. My name is Total Biscuit.
And I am the Apollo.
And you are watching IGN Pro League Season 2.